Hey, what's up? I'm Matthew, and I'm going to show you how to install Horn Blaster's mini outlaw system that I just bought. I have a 2019 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD, and I just picked this up online after I saw Cletus McFarland. He bought a bunch of them for his crew, and I was interested, so I went ahead and picked some up myself. Pretty good deal. It's like 280 bucks with a little discount they had. So I'm not gonna do a complete install video, but I will kind of just hit on a few things as I go to show you how I did it. So all right, so here's the kit. There's the horns, which I hadn't really unboxed fully yet. Let's see here. Pretty big deal. Pretty big horn set. My plan is to run these under the truck and figure out where at. I'll let y'all know as I go. This is the compressor and tank. Not a bad size. Got a little gauge on it, pre-wired. It's interesting. It goes through the tank or not. Looks like it does. It sure does. So the wiring goes through the tank. You can see there. And whenever I push up and down right there, you can see the wire comes up and down right there. Well, it kind of does, but I think this might be a channel going through the actual tank to allow the wire to go through. Anyway, that's that. And it came with the wiring and a little kit here full of earplugs. Oh man, I just made a mess. All the connectors, fuses, fuse for the main power, lanyard. Let's see what's in the boxes. Hose cutter, that's nice. For the hard line, I would imagine. Where is the hard line? I found the air line. It is in here with the horns, so there's that. Horns also came with a mounting pad with all the bolts you need, so there's that. But anyways, got all the things. I'm gonna go ahead and start looking around, seeing where I need to mount this or where I can. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put the tank back here, and I got a cover, so it'll be covered back here. I just might mount it on either side, passenger or driver. We'll figure it out. But yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right. So I'm back here in the bed. Looking for a spot to mount this compressor, and what I think I'm going to do is put it on the passenger side, because this one is a deleted truck and I have a lot more room on the passenger side to run wiring or whatever need to the battery. So which kind of need to see where the battery is. I think there's two batteries in the under the hood. So excuse me, I'm a new diesel owner, so I'm getting used to all this. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it here. I believe it's almost a perfect little lineup for these tabs. to drill in to the little humps here in the back of the bed, or in the bed. Also, this is where the output is for the horns, and there's already a hole right here, if you can see it. So all I'd have to do really is kind of drill that a little bit bigger to run the air line and the wiring for the harness. So anyway, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'll report back once I get it all mounted. Alright, well, I always jump ahead and already drilled the holes, and didn't look before we did it, but this one is accessible underneath. This one was covered by looks like a heat shield plate, and those two are completely inside of the channel, the body or bed channel that goes across, that mounts to the frame itself. So there's no access at all to those back ones to put the nut. You got a bolt and a nut and washers. So probably just use, I don't want to keep drilling, so I'll probably just use these two with these, and then I'm gonna go find some what do you call them, anchor bolts, I guess you can call them, but just use something like that back there that'll thread down into it without having to put a nut behind it. So here's the two bolts I just got done. They're bolted in. It's pretty strong. It still has some play though, or wants to come up, because those two in the back aren't in. So I'm gonna go get some anchor bolts that'll just kind of screw in and hold it in place, but at least two of them are actually bolted down. So after I do that, we'll go ahead and measure up the hole size I'm gonna need for the airline and the wiring that I'm going to be bringing back here. So and also, I guess what I'll do with the ground on this is extend it down to the frame, just ground to the frame. It's ultimately the best ground there is on the truck. So alright, I'm underneath the truck now. I'm actually just going to concentrate on mounting the horns right now. Just get everything mounted before I start running wires and airlines. So I'm pretty sure I had to take the spare tire down. Got the horns sitting on top of them, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to mount them or behind this channel here, and have the horns facing frontwards. There's just enough clearance up front for the horns to sit there mounted to the actual bed itself. I don't like the idea that the screws are going to be in the bed, but yeah, I mean, there's ways around it, I'm sure, but I guess that's just what it's going to be. I'm going to think about it a little bit more before I do it, but that's definitely where I'm going to mount it. Maybe I'll weld another plate up there to the actual bottom side of the bed that will hold the horns. I can bolt the actual plate to the horns and then weld the plate to the bed, so there's no screws on the top side of the bed there. So we'll see. I'll let you know. Alright, what's going on? This is day number 2. I kind of gave up on it yesterday when I had a few drinks. So I gave it some more thought, and first off, I got the lag bolts that I'm going to use. Probably those two if the holes are small enough for the compressor. If not, I got 2 more extra of these. But I'm going to use these lag bolts for this plate here. I plan on, which that just barely fits, kind of overlaps the edge a little bit, but obviously the holes line up to mount this. This is the grommet that sits under the horn mounting plate, that part there. So yeah, this lines up, or this fits on there. That's what I'm going to bolt it to, and then I'm going to put these lag bolts, probably 4, on that channel right here. So drill holes big enough for those lag bolts to screw into. I might end up welding it on. I don't know, we'll see. That's probably ultimately the best thing to do, honestly. But I got the lag bolts in case. It might be just enough for it to mount up there and hold. So we'll see. All right, I'm back here, and this is the plate after I've drilled it. We've got the 2 holes for the anchor bolts to the body of the bed, and then these 3 holes for the actual horn itself. I had some silver paint laying around, so I just coated it real quick so it wouldn't rust. So yeah, I'm about to go ahead and mount the horn to this plate, and then simply just put the horn underneath and mount it up to the rail, and then I'll show you how that looks after it's done. All right, I'm back. My original plan was to trying to get underneath here, but was to bolt this up with those anchor bolts. But and there it is, there, all done. But the anchor bolts, they tightened, but it didn't fully seat the plate and securely like tighten it up. Which, I mean, I kind of figured. The compressor did well, but this one just didn't seem to want to tighten up real good. So I ended up welding the sides, which my welds are real shitty on this, but it is what it is. They penetrated enough to hold it. So, which this is lightweight, so it's no big deal. But yeah, so they're under there. They're mounted, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the spare back underneath, and should clear. I already kind of pre-fitted it, but I should round off just before the horns there. So anyway, that's the horns mounted and ready to go. So next is going to be figuring out how I'm going to run the lines out of here into the horns, and then the wiring. So we'll report back when we get all that done. All right, back at it here, or just finishing up. But I put the horn in, of course. You already saw that, and just got the spare tire put back in. Kind of was expecting it to clear all the way, but unfortunately it didn't. I mean, it's still clearing, but it ended up having to kind of shove it forward a little bit, as you can see there, to clear the tire going up, which it rests on it a little bit, but it ain't too bad. Should be all right. So anyways, that's all in. I got the airline ran up to the pump, and yeah, we're gonna start running the wire and all that next. So I'm at the tire shop right now, our tire shop, doing this, but I'm gonna go home and do the rest. So I'll report back whenever I get some more done. All right, I didn't record too much during the wiring process, but I mean, the wiring is wiring. I mean, there's you know, a manual or instruction manual for that, kind of let you know, and I'll show you that here in a second. But basically, yeah, I just wired the pump up to a relay that is on a keyed power, and of course, you know, the battery power as well. So anyway, I wire that up, and then there's a ground and a power wire that basically the power that's being fed by the actual whatever source you want it to be, the horn, the stock horn, the or a push button that you might want to install. So and they also provide an on-off switch that will allow you to turn on and off the horns. I didn't install it. I might later on, but for now, I just wired it straight to my horn. So anytime I hit the horn, it's going off with it all the time. So and I was able to find the wire. It's super simple. There was I don't know if we can even see it up in there. The lighting's a bit whatever, but anyways, right up in the driver's side front bumper, the horn is right there, and you literally could see the wire hanging. If I was underneath, I was able to just use one of those little splice connectors that you don't have to cut the wire in it, and you just put it around the factory wire and inside your other wire in. I ran it to the horn itself to control that solenoid or whatever you want to call that. So, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Just wiring everything, running it down the whole truck. I did it on the passenger side, but I was able to let me see if I can show you. Getting kind of dark out, but maybe a little folding tonneau. But I was able to drill a hole, and I used a little rubber grommet here, and I was able to put the hose, air hose, and the power and ground through the wire loom. It's nice and tidy back here, and goes straight down to the frame, and goes all the way down on top side of the frame, all the way down the truck to the front under the hood, which I'll show you that now. Hold this back up. All right, so I don't really like the way I did this, but this is the fuse block. There was no fuse in it, but I just found a spot that was keyed and ran this wire. I had to cut a little notch out right here so the lid could go back on. But just went out, got it in loom here, going across all the way over there, and I'll show you what's going on over there. Put this back on. If I can get it. Oh, the wire came out. There we go. Got that back in. So there's a wire loom. I got the fuse that came with it. This one goes directly to the battery right here underneath this panel, and then I got the relay right here. It came with just little connectors that slid on, but I had this covered plastic connector that slid onto the terminals and kind of protects it from being exposed. So and it has its own wire into it. So I wired all that up. I keyed, a ground, and the main power, and power to the compressor itself. So anytime I flick the key on, if it needs air, it'll start pumping air to it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It's wiring, I mean, is probably the worst thing about the project, in my honest opinion. I never really do like wiring. You can see I'm pretty dirty too. I need to go take a shower, but it's the frame's got all its grease on it and dirt, and you just running it all through there, and it's, I don't know, it's not enjoyable. I enjoyed the part of actually mounting the horns. That was fun to figure out a way, because I had all kinds of ideas. Maybe running a bar from frame rail to frame rail, passenger to driver side. It's kind of overkill, I thought. So the way I did it, ended up being good. Welding that plate on, starts nice and sturdy now, and won't have any issues with that. So, but yeah, everything went well. It was a good install, and this is how I did it. Hey, taking this the next day after I got everything done. I just wanted to show you what it sounds like. And like I said, it's simply just hit the horn, and that's pretty much it, man. It'll sound off, but here it is. It's pretty loud, but anyways, yeah, everything went well.